that's all finished, we're going to see America's return to the moon. And one Canadian, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian who's hitched a ride with us. How could you not be proud? No matter what your thoughts are on President Trump, this should make you proud of him. How can you be critical? Oh, they left some planes behind. They're trying to be very fiscally conservative. Oh, it costs so much money. All of a sudden, what are they supposed to let him die, be captured? All of a sudden, they're concerned about spending money. How much did this cost versus the amount of money that the Somali pirates have stolen, or how much Gavin Newsom has stolen through the Medicaid fraud out in California? You're not too concerned about that, but spending money to rescue an American who's liberating a country and the world from these lunatic Ayatollah government loons of Iran, that's all. You want to be very fiscally conservative when that's involved. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie. What a weekend.
Great. Yeah, the greatest weekend. I'm gonna say this. This couldn't be a Hollywood movie. It was the greatest rescue you could imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm bringing this up to you because I'm so disgusted with the left. It's so heartbreaking. They've been against this. They've been against this war from the very beginning.
Yeah.
They do nothing but sabotage President Trump. Now I watch the Sunday shows. They don't want to support the military.
No.
Ro Khanna out in California is such a dirtbag. So, folks, don't be deceived that he's always in a suit and tie and he speaks softly. He's a far left
lunatic, and anti-American lunatic. Yeah, kook. Yes.
Kook. And all he talks about is all this money on this war could have gone to free college, free this, free that. That's all.
How about freeing the people of Iran and the world from Islamic terrorism? How about that, Ro Khanna? Well, by the way, what kind of name is Ro Khanna?
Yeah, Brian, not for nothing. Then I watched Piers Morgan. I watched that woman who hates America, who looks cross-eyed with blonde hair, Anna Asparian, and she's on Piers Morgan spewing her crap, saying that that this is an illegal war, that President Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He's now in something he can't get out of. They project what's in President Trump's mind. They have no clue. I mean, all they do
this operation to rescue the pilot, part of it is we set up a temporary military base inside enemy territory, and they didn't get near it. 200 miles inside Iran, they didn't get near it.
They didn't even know we were there, but we had a temporary airfield and everything.
Everything, yeah.
And I mean, this was brilliant, and they will not give us any credit. Nope. All they do is criticize. Now they're saying President Trump with the ground forces that he's going to need. Piers Morgan's another one. Why did we start this war if we couldn't get the uranium? They're in the same position they are right now. If that uranium is grabbed by the United States, they're that close to a dirty bomb or a regular bomb. So this is a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
And this is what's going on here. We have to get the uranium. And as for boots on the ground, look how far this country has come from D-Day to boots on the ground today. They got the military under a microscope. They got this president. They just want failure. They do not want us to win. They don't want nothing like that.
Correct.
They don't want you. They're on the side of Ukraine.
Yeah,
100%. Look at the mayor of New York. They're on his side because he's against this thing because he is a jihadist. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, he is a jihadist straight up. His wife is a jihadist. He's a jihadist, and the only reason he got elected is free stuff. Yeah. Free stuff. I was watching. Now I watch a lot of people. Bill O'Reilly said the only reason he got elected was he offered free crap to these ignorant people in New York City.
Do you know how much is burning? I mean, I want you to think about what today is going to be like, right? The president has a press conference in the early afternoon, which is going to detail what happened here. It may be an announcement of the end of the war, but certainly we're going to get more heroic details of this rescue mission. That's going to be followed by a NASA press conference, and then America will be back at the moon in the afternoon through the early evening hours. It's a day of American excellence and American pride. You know how that's burning the liberals up today? Today is a day where the never-Trumpers and the Democrats and the liberals are going to be physically ill all day.
No, because they're going to try to turn it around and blame the Jews for all what's happening in Iran. That's what they're doing now. Yeah. It's all Israel's fault.
That's right.
And we only did this for Israel. We had no. Look at it. President Trump had a video they were showing. What was it? 1983. He was against the Iranians and saying, "When are we going to do something about these people?" So President Trump, folks, he thinks for himself. I have 100, and I'm not one of these guys that are in a cult, but I have a mind between my ears. I am 150% behind the whole president right now. I have total confidence in the military. I have confidence in him because, bottom line, we do not know what's going on behind the scenes.
Nope.
We don't know. So, but people are on these talk shows.
All we know is we're winning. We're winning.
That's all we need. That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. How many people have we lost? Now they're worried about the Straits of Hormuz. Now all of a sudden, well, guess what? The Iranians had that over our heads since 1972 or whatever. It's been 77, 70. They've had that Hormuz over our head. So in other words, they're blackmailing the world.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't touch them. We should let them get a nuclear weapon.
And I'm watching the liberals talk about the rescue. They're so upset at how much money it costs to rescue this guy. They're not concerned about money when the Somali pirates are stealing from the government in Minneapolis.
No, we blew up those planes and helicopters, and that's costing all this money. They didn't care. They didn't care.
What are we supposed to give them? Our stealth helicopter technology? What do they want us to do?
Yeah, when Biden gave away all that military equipment, you didn't hear a peep out of the left, did you? It only came from us that said, President Trump said, how can you leave all that brand new equipment, night goggles, all that stuff, all the helicopters, the planes, everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't blow nothing up. But that's the difference between President Biden and look, and I told you yesterday, these people have amnesia. They want us to put them back in power to do what? Can you imagine Kamala Harris if she was the president of the United States?
They want to be back. They want to be back in power so they can burn down the United States. That's why they want to be in charge of it.
They hate this country. They hate this country.
Well, look who they're run by. They're run by foreigners, immigrants that have made their way into Congress, and drunks like Kamala Harris, who's look who runs them.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. But it's been a great Easter Sunday. We got great news. There's going to be a Hollywood movie that's going to be better than Rambo, like you said. And not for nothing. I mean, we are battling within the cancer is within the United States.
Can you imagine what it's like? You're in the back seat of a fighter jet under enemy fire, involved in aerial combat and very bizarre, like air show like maneuvering. You have to eject when the aircraft, after it's been hit like at a 90-degree angle. You hit the ground, you're wounded, you're injured, and you climb a 7,000-foot mountain and find a place to hide. What the hell? How do you do it?
Yeah, you know what they said? You know what the injury was? That's even more unbelievable. The injury is he broke his ankle. He broke his ankle.
Oh, my goodness. I broke my toes once and I couldn't walk. Imagine breaking your ankle.
He broke his ankle.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was reported. So how do you climb 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle?
Because you're Captain America. You're Rambo.
Adrenaline and training, folks. That's why he climbed the mountain.
American excellence.
Let me tell you, with a broken ankle, that's amazing that he had a broken ankle. I'm telling you, I've sprained my ankle so bad on a basketball court where it blew up, and I couldn't even put weight on it. This guy climbed the mountain. It's amazing.
I wonder if they've flown Dr. Appleton in to treat him with the robotic laser away pain treatment. That would help.
Yeah, that's what you need, brother. But anyway, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you during your show if that's okay.
Yeah, no. Richie is the only caller that gets the golden ticket to 2 calls. And if you call during the pre-show, you get to call during the radio show later. Only Richie gets the 2 calls.
I'm waiting for what some of these leftists are going to do before I call you.
Oh,
I got to get them to get me crazy.
I don't expect to hear. What are they going to say today? They're upset that we rescued our man. I mean, what are they going to say?
No, President Trump put us in an illegal war. And now they're trying to. You know what they're trying to do? Actually, they're trying to have a 45-day peace talk
Oh, yes.
They want to.
So the Iranians can reorganize, right?
That would be our worst thing to do. 45 days lay off of them so we can talk.
Yeah.
We had time to talk before this started.
We've been talking for 47 years. The time to talk is over. They had their chance.
Thank you very much.
All right, Richie. Take care. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian. Of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk, and this is just a great day to celebrate America. Here's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press yesterday. No. There you go. Yeah, exactly. So today is going to be the day. I mean, when the president comes out with his press conference today, we are going to get a lot of great information from everything. Now, I want to remind you guys that, the radio show begins a few minutes after 6. So this is the early pre-show. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And also, if you would like the video, please, that helps a lot. Liking the video helps people find the channel that have not yet found me. So please like the video. And if you get the option to hype the video, please do that too after you like the video, because that helps a lot. So subscribe, of course, but liking the video helps so much grow the channel. All right. So please like the video. All right. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm from Northwest Ohio.
All right, Ohio. What's on your mind?
So listen, my man, a big respect to you. I'm a firm believer in the First Amendment. Or not, basically like right to speech and everything. My question is though, man, why do you still support Trump even though the Epstein files show he's in the files more than anybody else?
Just because, that's not true. But the files have all been released, and nothing shows that Trump did anything other than turn Epstein into the police. He was Donald Trump. Excuse me. You may not take pictures with women, but most men do. What the files showed is that Epstein was arrested because President Trump was the first person to turn him in to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. So are you telling me you're upset that President Trump turned Epstein into the cops? That upsets you?
No, I'm upset.
Okay, then you agree with him. Okay, good. Bunch of weirdos. And he's calling from my home state of Ohio. What an embarrassment. Let's see here. Let's go. You're on hold. Call us on hold. Hang in there. The number's toll free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Your bitch.
Okay, there you go. The rest of you on hold, hang in there. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, there is a lot more to cover. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It is the Monday after Easter. And of course, what we're doing is celebrating the greatest president that we've ever had in this country. That's Donald Trump and these great accomplishments that have happened over the weekend. You know, the rescue, you knew on Friday when you heard that a U.S. aircraft had been shot down. Immediately, we got word that the one guy was rescued. We knew that right out of the gate. But we knew one had not been rescued. You know, and you had the same feeling I did, watching the media, listening to the liberals, following them on X. You know that the never Trumpers, the Democrats, the liberals, and the media, you could tell they were hoping he'd get captured, couldn't you? Couldn't you tell that they were hoping that he'd be captured? They wanted this guy captured like no one's business. And it burns them up inside that not only was he rescued, but that the mission to rescue him was such a heroic mission. And it was a mission ordered by Trump, ordered by the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and the great chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane. You know, General Kane is probably the greatest chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff we've ever had. I mean, you know, you look at this war, this hot war that we've been in with Iran, without boots on the ground, except for this rescue. And with the rescue, we set up a temporary base deep inside enemy territory, did a rescue 200 miles inside enemy territory, set up a runway, all this stuff. And they didn't kill one American. Not one American was lost in this entire operation, from the lucky shot shoot down of the fighter to the rescue operation. And that's what is eating them up inside. All right, if you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Phil.
Okay. Here we go. Yes, Phil.
Are we live right now?
Of course, always.
All right. So is it possible we can talk about Trump's newest bill by chance?
Which one would that be?
I'm from Iowa, so
what?
You know, I feel like it would greatly affect the farmers around here.
What is his newest bill?
His newest bill is to shut down your show. Don't fucking block people.
Okay, well, yes, that's his newest bill. I think the president's bill would be the opposite of that. You know, I don't. You hear the anger. We rescued an American hero, a real life Rambo. Later today, in less than 12 hours, America will have returned to the moon. And you've heard the liberals I've talked to already this morning. You know, Richie the bus driver called in, first call, conservative, happy, excited, proud of our country. I've talked to, 3 liberals already? And what are they? Angry, pissed off, in a rage, incoherent. Why is that? You know, this is a day with no matter, you know, there are certain things that I'm waiting for Mike at the radio station to tell me when we're going to be live. This is the pre-show. We're not on the radio yet. You know, this is one of those days that no matter what happens, Americans should come together and celebrate, right? This is a day when no matter what your political affiliation is, you should be proud of your country. We're going to be back at the moon for the first time in 54 years. And not only are we going back to the moon, we're breaking several records, right? The first black man to go to the moon, the first woman to go to the moon, and later in the day, in the afternoon, the spacecraft, these astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, who the Canadians hitched a ride with us. We're happy to take them. They're going to be further away from Earth than any human has ever traveled before. We rescued a heroic American in Iran that was about to be captured. These are things that are universally good if you're an American. So why are you guys so pissed off? It doesn't make sense. These are things that should make you happy, but you're miserable because you know your Trump derangement syndrome is so deep in your DNA, your bones, your brain, your blood. You have Trump derangement syndrome so heavy you can probably taste it. And you can't celebrate things that are good. Who could be against these things? There's some things that no thinking person can be against, regardless of your opinions on Donald Trump or the war, right? Regardless of your opinions on Donald Trump or the war, should it not make you happy that an American airman was rescued without any loss of life by the United States? No matter what your opinion is on the president or the war, isn't that a good thing? We're going back to the moon today. How does that not excite you? Right? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Michael Savage was right when he said liberalism is a mental disorder. And it is. Now, you're all welcome to call me, but keep it clean. No profanity, no F-bombs. We're going to be on the radio shortly. This is the pre-show. Watch your language. And I do enjoy people who call me who agree and disagree. And I'm the only person that does that. You know, most of these conservatives that you see around, what do? They preach to the camera. They don't want to take live calls from anyone. Not only do I take live calls, you're welcome to call me regardless of your political opinion, but be polite, have a conversation, and please no profanity. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. And there's no reason for anyone to be angry right now. You should be happy. Unless you're, a follower of the Ayatollah Khomeini. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Lenny from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Lenny. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I haven't called in a while. You understand why we don't have to talk about that now. But I'm 100%. That last call. It's beyond Trump dementia syndrome. It is almost a demonic spirit.
Yes. It's like these callers. It's like I'm talking to Linda Blair and The Exorcist with these callers.
I am, and listen. I turned 72 December 23rd. Okay, I was born in 1953, and I was fortunate when I was a young boy to be able to sit with all my little friends in front of a black and white TV and see the actual first moon landing. Mm-hmm. And I cannot believe that the mentality of people today of just unappreciative of history in the making. And I am an identical twin. My twin brother is a rhino. At least I thought he was a rhino.
Yeah. So you're not identical twins.
I'm sorry?
You're not identical twins. You don't think the same.
No, we're...
Your brain waves are different. You look alike, but you don't think alike.
But if he sent me, I haven't talked to him in 2 years.
Wow.
And it's all because, it's political and it's spiritual. I'm also, I gave my life to Christ back in 2004, and I've been serving the Lord for the past 22 years.
Awesome.
And when it comes to politics and religion, I tell him 100 times, let's talk about all the good things in life. He walks around, and I asked him one question, and he went ballistic, and he sent me a text.
What was the question?
That Well, I have to learn to be extremely careful when I see something on YouTube that it's not news and it's clickbait or it's just
unless it's me.
I'm sorry.
Unless it's me.
No, I highly recommend you for anybody that is on the path that we're on. And
well, so what was the question you asked your brother that set him off?
I saw. God forgive me that I was looking to download some worship songs, and I saw a video of a press conference on an Indian station that Obama had been arrested.
Oh, and you thought it was true?
Anything?
No, I haven't seen it. No, Obama has not been arrested, although he is. He does listen. I got to run because the radio show's about to start, but we'll talk about that another time. Okay, I got to go because they're getting ready to switch over. But I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're less than 30 seconds away from the radio show beginning, so I got to intro the radio show. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Here we go. Stand by. 15 seconds. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Welcome, one and all. It is the Monday after Easter, and what an amazing Easter weekend that continues this Monday with everything that's happened. You know, on Friday, the Iranians got a lucky shot off, and they shot down one of our fighter jets over Iran. And now both pilots have been rescued. And the story of the second pilot that took a couple days to rescue is nothing short of just real life superhero stuff. I mean, this guy, I'm going to go through in a few minutes what happened with the second airman that was rescued, but this guy is nothing short of a real life Rambo or a real life Captain America, or maybe both. And he is an amazing person. The entire story is amazing. Our president is amazing. Our war secretary is amazing. Our chairman of the Joint Chiefs are amazing, and our service personnel are amazing too. And you know, Friday when I heard that the Iranians got a lucky shot off and one of our fighters went down, you know, and the pilot was rescued, but the weapons officer was not. It was a pretty scary weekend. And you know as well as I know that the moment that happened, when word came that a U.S. fighter had been shot down by Iran, one pilot was rescued and the other was missing, you know that the liberals, the never-Trumpers, the Democrats, and the fake news media were high-fiving each other because they had a dream. And their dream is that the airman that had not been rescued would be captured by the enemy and dragged through the streets of Tehran. They wanted to have a redo of Benghazi with this guy. They wanted to have a redo of Mogadishu. If you don't remember that, go back. Black Hawk Down, the movie was made about that. They wanted terrible things to happen to this guy, this colonel, but he was rescued. And not one American lost their life in the rescue. And that freaks out they're in meltdowns over this. They are physically ill to this. And this weekend was one of those moments when the Hate America First crowd, they hate America so much, they hate the president so much that they're not able to hide it. And they couldn't hide it over the weekend. I was watching the coverage Friday and Saturday, and they didn't say that they wanted the Iranians to capture, but you could tell. You could see it in their face and their tone. They didn't feel like you did. They didn't feel like I did. And President Trump, we didn't see President Trump all weekend. He had a lot of events scheduled Friday. He didn't come home over the weekend. and he canceled all of his events Friday after this happened. And he was hunkered down in the Situation Room taking care of business. And the liberals were so upset that President Trump had not come out to be screamed at by the press. They were trying to smoke him out. Did you see what they did over the weekend? They flooded social media with a fake news story that was pretty convincing, but that the president had been rushed to Walter Reed, that there was a medical emergency, and this medical emergency, they rushed the president to Walter Reed. Totally fake news. And Saturday afternoon, this story was going viral on social media because the enemies of this country, the Democrats and the Never-Trumpers, they were desperate to get President Trump out of the Situation Room on television so that they could bark questions at him. And one of the things that really had them nervous, they were afraid that he was in Pakistan brokering a peace deal and an end to the war. And that really freaked them out. So they came with that fake story. And when the story was, I knew the story was BS, okay? Because we would have seen it. There's too much press at the White House. If they rushed him out, if you remember when they had to rush him in the first term to Walter Reed, they flew him out on Marine One. They can't hide that, okay? It would have been known. And it was so what they did is that then when the story started to get exposed as fake, then they started flooding social media, not just with the fake story, but video of the motorcade. And of course, it was video from the hospital in Butler. And they were desperate. And it didn't take long, but it took a few hours for the story to be debunked. But they didn't smoke him out because he was taking care of business. And then we find out that the most daring military operation, possibly since the Second World War took place, under the leadership of our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Chairman Raising Cane, and SEAL Team 6. They led this incredible mission, which I'm going to detail after the first break. And the president's going to have a press conference a little early in the afternoon today. And that press conference I'm imagining we're going to get a lot of more information on this incredible rescue of this colonel by SEAL Team 6 in Iran. But it could possibly be an announcement of the end of hostilities. That the war it could be possibly an announcement that the war is over. Now that part we don't know about yet, but it could be because President Trump has been talking to the Iranians, their foreign minister, about a ceasefire. We'll find out. But certainly we're going to get details on this heroic rescue of the colonel, which I'll detail after the first break. But then, after that's over, what's going to happen? America's returning to the moon. Oh, yes. America is returning to the moon. And that really has them freaking out. The idea that we're going back to the moon, they can't handle it. 3 Americans and 1 Canadian who's hitched a ride on America's spacecraft Artemis 2 will not only go to the moon today, but make history. Right? Victor Glover will be the first black man to go to the moon. There's a female astronaut. We're going to have the first woman that goes to the moon. And also, Artemis 2 will travel further from the Earth than any humans have ever traveled before. And this is an amazing, amazing thing that's happening. So all of this American excellence and American greatness is happening over the past day and will continue through the evening hours. And the liberals are physically ill. You know, before the radio show starts in the mornings, I start this show early online. I started about 40 minutes early today. And I've been taking calls since about 5:30 this morning. I've spoken to several liberals. They sound like Linda Blair and The Exorcist, nothing short of that, the liberals I've talked to today. They are in a rage. They are freaking out. They sound demonic because they've blown their gaskets. Because not only is America great, even they're seeing the greatness of America. And American greatness freaks out the liberals. Now, I want to tell you this. It is Monday, April 6th. The deadline for filing your taxes is coming up. But Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, I spoke to him on the program Friday. Not only is it not too late, you've got plenty of time. Call Jamie Levac. You know, even if you don't have all of your documents together,
Jamie Levac will help you do that. Give Jamie Levac a call no matter where you're located. And by the way, if you're local here in South Florida and you want to meet with Jamie Levac in person, please do. I know a lot of you have been meeting with Jamie Levac in person. You very well are welcome to do that. I did. I met with Jamie Levac in person and was incredibly impressed. So did Steve Kane and his wife, Lori. He's handling their taxes too. And not just their personal taxes, but their business taxes. So, yeah, you are very much welcome to meet Jamie Levac in person. He has an office right here in South Florida. Although he can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. His office is here in South Florida, and you are more than welcome to meet with him. Please do call. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac. So call or text 954-773-1587. Jamie Levac knows the new tax code inside and out. He's going to make sure that you get all the deductions that you're entitled to and that you get the largest return that you are owed. And with Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, you can get your return in as little as 24 hours. His number, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. We'll take a quick break and be right back. All right, we have 20 seconds till we're back. We're still in radio break, so stand by. And if you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. It's toll free. Stand by. Well, welcome back, everyone. I am Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And of course, we're celebrating America with this incredible rescue of our downed airmen over the weekend over enemy territory in Iran. And of course, America returning to the moon today. So this rescue mission was amazing. This is Fox News detailing the rescue. And then I'll add some things to it that they didn't know at the time of this report, but this is a movie in the making. The script is already written, right? We saw it in the news yesterday. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Okay, now before we get to the mission, now if you remember, Saturday, I woke up Saturday and there were multiple reports that the 2nd Airman had been rescued. And that was because the CIA had a PSYOP going on to throw off the Iranians. They thought the guy had been rescued already, which was amazing. And it worked. Same. Mm-hmm. Wow, this is amazing. So, this guy, I want you to think about this colonel, the real life Rambo, the real life Captain America. So you've seen the video of this lucky shot that the Iranians got. There was, it looked like an air show, amazing aerial maneuvering by the pilot. And when they ejected, the plane had been hit and they ejected. It looked like the plane was at almost like a 90-degree angle. They've been hit. They're on fire. They're falling at a high rate of speed, and they ejected. The colonel ejects. He climbed a 7,000-foot mountain, by the way, with a broken ankle. I think about that. He had have any of you ever broken a bone? I've broken toes a couple of times. And let me tell you, that hurt like a son of a gun. I remember when I broke my toes, I could hardly walk. This guy broke his ankle and climbed a 7,000-foot Iranian mountain. All he had was a radio and a handgun. Now remember, a mile is 5,280 feet. So he climbed a 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle. How many of you could not walk 1 mile without a broken ankle on perfectly flat Florida ground? You're right. A lot of you probably could. He climbed a 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle, found a place, a hideout from the enemy, but he climbed the mountain so that he had clear line of sight with the radio signal. What an amazing man this guy is, this colonel. What an amazing person. I promise you, he's not one of those Biden-era military personnel that you saw on TikTok, who you see them in their uniform, and then they clap their hands, and all of a sudden they're wearing a prom dress, and they're dancing to Gloria Gaynor or something. This is not that kind of guy. I promise you. I mean, that is just insane what he did. And then this miraculous rescue mission by SEAL Team 6. This rescue mission was 200 miles inside Iranian enemy territory. The Iranian army was looking for him, the regular army. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard was looking for him, right? And they had armed civilians looking for him. We were able to set up a temporary military base inside Iran that didn't get a scratch on it, and a temporary runway didn't get a scratch on it. And we're able to rescue this American hero without any loss of American life. How could you not praise the president for this? No matter what your viewpoints are about the war, the president, Pete Hegseth, or anything, this has got to be something that makes any American feel good, unless you're a never-Trumper, unless you're a liberal, unless you're a Democrat or a member of the mainstream media. This is one of the most amazing stories of real-life bravery. This is like a John Wayne Rambo event that we just saw happen here. There have been movies made about much less. And the media, what are the liberals doing? They're complaining that we blew up a couple of aircraft that they left behind that were damaged because they didn't want to leave them to the enemy. Here you had Joe Biden gave the Taliban the 4th largest air force in the world, with our most high-tech, advanced Black Hawk helicopters with the latest computer technology in them. That didn't bother the Democrats. But leaving 2 aircraft behind, completely destroyed and burned into the sand, that bothers them. Are you kidding? They turned the sand in the glass. They fired it up so heavy. All they're concerned about is how much it cost financially, right? They're talking about how much the mission cost. They don't mind how many billions of dollars the Somali pirates in Minneapolis steal, or how much Medicaid fraud Gavin Newsom is overseeing out in California, but you spend a few $1 million rescuing an Air Force colonel, and all of a sudden they're fiscally conservative. Unreal. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh man, you know, it was raining so hard yesterday, wasn't it? Oh man, this is not, you know, you don't want to be driving around in Florida with tires that don't have the proper tread on them. Stop doing that. I used to do that a lot, I'm embarrassed to admit, before I found Friendly Tire in Margate. You're not going to find prices lower than anywhere else because, you know, when you call Friendly Tire and he gives you a quote over the phone, you can get new tires as low as $75 a tire out the door and on the road. And that's for common sizes on some of the most common and most popular vehicles on the road today. And when I say out the door on the road, that low price that Friendly Mike quotes you over the phone, he doesn't, that's it. That's out the door. He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. As low as $75 a tire out the door and on the road for brand new tires. That's amazing. He also has thousands of good used tires in stock, as low as $35 a tire, and that's the out the door on the road price as well. He also does tire repairs like he helped me out with a couple of weeks ago. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. I'm waiting for the first never Trumper, liberal, progressive, whatever it is you want to call yourself, to call in and say, hey, you don't like the president, you don't like Pete Hegseth, but they did a masterful job here. Show that you're an American. The number is toll-free no matter where you're listening, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. And remember, Jamie at Swift Tax can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in America. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. Give them a call. All right, stand by. All right, welcome everyone. I'm Brian. We are back. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. This is Trump-hating Kristen Welker on Trump-hating Meet the Press, talking about the heroic rescue. And I must tell you, I'm very thankful that the colonel was a man, right? You know, I was so concerned that we'd have a woman who might get captured. You know, I'm not crazy about women being combat pilots. I don't mind women being in the military. I'm not crazy, but I don't like women being in the situations where they can get captured, because the women that have been captured by the Iraqis in our past wars, things have not gone well for them. And you know what I mean? And it's just god awful. But anyway, here's Trump-hating Kristen Welker, big Democrat, on Trump-hating Meet the Press about the rescue of the colonel. Yep. Mm. Yes. Okay. So the president is not messing around, and they're getting very upset at some of his wording. Now, here's another report from Fox about this great operation. You know, doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to be a citizen of the number one country that's ever existed? And we just happen to be going to the moon today too. After this greatness, it is an Easter miracle. CIA. Isn't that something? Okay, you know, and before I get back to this, I mean, you know, you got to wonder, has the deep state been drained? Because this is not the first time that the deep state has been working with the president to accomplish great things. Maybe he's drained much more of the swamp than we realize. Broken ankle. I wouldn't be able to jump out of an airplane, some small airplane at the parachute school down in Kendall or something. But this guy, 500 miles an hour, ejects. Oh, man. Broken ankle. This is Jennifer Griffin from Fox, by the way. Absolutely. Now, do you notice, this great analysis we've been getting from Fox, you can hear the excitement and pride because they're Americans. I'm not getting any of that from the left. I'm getting anger from the liberal media that the rescue was a success. Oh, this is great. Listen to Iran. She laughs. Don't worry, we have more. Did you hear that? The Iranian Air Force no longer exists. Jennifer Griffin reporting from Fox. Yeah. This weekend rescue with the liberals really outing themselves as Hate America First crowd people. The way that the left are behaving today is worse than even in Vietnam. In Vietnam, they, the politicians, the Democrats, they had this line, peace with honor, peace with honor. Whatever that means, you could debate whatever that means. But the Democrats, even during the Vietnam War protest era, were pretending and had to support the troops, support America. Now they've just dispensed of that. So why is that? Well, it's a number of reasons. They've always hated the country, but the Democrat Party, as we know it, has been taken over by immigrants that hate this country, like Ilhan Omar, Tlaib, and others. Or radical lunatics like AOC and Gavin Newsom or Ro Khanna. You've got the people that are running the Democrat Party today, their top figures, Dallas Store Obama, the minority leader in the House, right? They don't come at things from an American perspective. So what that means is, that's why they all like to hang out, these Democrats, with Hassan Piker, that anti-American guy who thinks we got what we deserved on 9/11, because the Democrat Party's front people are not people that are Americans in their hearts and minds on things that universally bring Americans together. They're not brought together because they're not one of us. Now, I was talking yesterday. It was raining really hard yesterday morning at my house. Was it raining where you're at? If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you have got a leak in your roof. You want to call Tom Laporta over at Laporta Roofing. You know, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing was voted the best roofing company in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I bet you has more roofing companies per capita than any other city in America, because Fort Lauderdale, Florida is ground zero for Hurricane Alley. And to be voted best roofing company in a city with so many roofers is extraordinary. And it really, it goes to the great work and excellence of Tom Laporta and Laporta Roofing. You know, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing has been with us here on the program for many years. And listeners, every time I have an appearance, listeners praise the great work that Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing has done for them. You know, Tom Laporta is a good MAGA guy. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. Now, if you need a new roof, he'll do that too. But if you don't need a new roof, he'll do the simple repair. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. And it's also important to understand that Tom Laporta is not just a roofer, he's a contractor. And under Florida law as a contractor, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing is able to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof, which speeds things up a lot. He handles every type of structure, residential, commercial, even municipal, and of course works with every type of roofing material. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, so you could call or text 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. We'll be right back. Mm-hmm. right, we have about 15 seconds and we'll be back. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So after the president's press conference on this incredible Audie Murphy-like event that happened in Iran over the weekend, the Artemis 2, America will be back at the moon. And we're already seeing spectacular photographs. I've been watching this all weekend, and of course it's exciting. And we're seeing the moon. Already the images we've gotten of the Earth and of the moon are far superior than anything we've seen before, because we haven't seen these images in over 50 years, and camera technology has advanced so much. And we're starting to see images from the dark side of the moon, which we've never seen before. They're discovering new things in new ways already, and it's amazing. And I've been following this all weekend, and it's so exciting. And one of the things that I'm excited about is all of these anti-American, American hater, moon landing deniers are being exposed. Everything that they have said made travel to the moon impossible is happened since this launch happened. And when the last time we went to the moon was 1972, I was 1, right? So 54 years ago. And it's been so long that most people weren't alive when it happened. And many people like me who were alive, I was a baby, I was a year old, obviously have no memory of it. So it's easy to sell that garbage when it's something that hasn't happened so long, especially when we hadn't gone back. And all of the things that they say make travel to the moon impossible and showing that it didn't happen. They have 2 things that they promote, right? And I know they sound, first is the Van Allen radiation belt. These astronauts have gone through the Van Allen radiation belt twice already, because the way it works, and they say that no human could survive going through the Van Allen radiation belt. These guys have done it twice. When Artemis 2 took off, it went way out into space, over 60,000 miles. The Van Allen radiation belt, I don't remember the exact mileage, but it's between 30 and 45,000 miles from it. So they went through the Van Allen radiation belt, but then they came back to the Earth to go around the Earth and gain speed using the gravity of the Earth to go to the moon. So they went through it once, twice, maybe 3 times, but at least twice already. And they're going to do it again. So they've gone through the Van Allen radiation belt twice, maybe 3 times since this mission began. So that is and even, Candace Owens recently had been a big moon landing skeptic in the last few months. So, that has been totally blown out of the water. And I knew that was BS, but now that we're seeing it happen, right? It's being proven that we did go. The other thing that they said, they had 2 big things. One is the Van Allen radiation belt, which, as I said, these astronauts have gone through it twice, maybe 3 times. And then they want you to believe that Arthur C. Clarke's book that was turned into the Kubrick movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, was actually a cover for the moon landing. And 2001: A Space Odyssey, if you go back and watch it, it was pretty high-tech special effects for the time that even still hold up in many ways. And they only filmed during the week. They were off on the weekends. And the reason that is because they filmed it in the UK. Star Wars was filmed in the UK, and they were shut down over the weekend, on the weekends for that too, the unions they had in the 60s and 70s. And the moon landing skeptics say that Stanley Kubrick filmed the Apollo moon landing with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the weekends at the soundstage. I'm not kidding. So all this has been blown completely out of the water. And the moon landing skeptics, the reason that they began this skepticism, and notice you haven't seen any of them on television or anything, online even, to speak of during this mission is because they want to tear down the United States. The United States is the only country that sent people to the moon, period. No one else has done it. And even though we haven't been back in 54 years, no other country has done it in that over 50-year period. We're the only ones that have the ability to do it. Yeah, we got a Canadian, but he's just hitching a ride on our spacecraft. Right? And this is Isaacson. He appointed by Trump to be the NASA administrator, talking about the mission. Okay, so what Isaacson is saying is this mission is happening only because of President Trump authorizing the Artemis program in his first term. That Obama had shut down the manned American space program, okay, because he didn't like Americans going into space, because he's not, he hates America, Obama. So, and because he's got the non-consecutive terms, Trump is able to see the first Artemis mission and hopefully the second Artemis mission that actually lands. Well, this is Artemis 2. Artemis 3 will land, and hopefully it'll happen while Trump is still in office. It got put off a little bit. But this is very exciting. It's all happening because of Trump. That's why there's been very little coverage of it. Now, they're starting to cover it a little bit now. Now, today, NASA's going to have a press conference. And this also goes to the moon landing conspiracy skeptic, lunatic, anti-American hating jerks. Artemis 2 will be flying over some of the Apollo landing sites. Which one are unclear for sure. They're going to confirm it later, and hopefully they'll get some good images. I will tell you in advance this, because this is something I've followed over the years. The flags planted on the moon are no longer red, white, and blue. The sun has totally bleached them. The flags on the moon are white. They've been white for years because of the sun. So all the flags on the moon are white. They're not red, white, and blue. I've known this for many years. It's been widely known because there have been unmanned spacecraft that have flown close enough to get some images. The original moon landing with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they planted the flag too close to the Eagle, and when the Eagle launched, the engines from the blast knocked the flag over. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up from the lunatic skeptics. The flags are all white because of the sun, and I don't know what spots they're going to land at, but Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin's, the flag was knocked down. The other landing sites, because of that, they planted the flag further away, but the flags are still white. The other ones are up. Artemis 2 is supposed to land at the South Pole, and that's going to be the beginning of the building of the moon base, and they're going to land there because they think there might be some ice there that they could use for the moon base. But that's the one thing about this program I disagree with. I think they should land at the original Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin site, just to document that they were there, right? Or one of the sites where the moon buggies are. But I would like to see them go to an original landing site just to show people that, everything's still there and it happened. Do you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy? Oh man, it's the worst, isn't it? You may have neuropathy and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness? Do you fall down all the time? Do you have the feeling of pins and needles in your hand and feet? Do you have no feeling at all? If you have any of these symptoms, you very well may have neuropathy. You want to call Lighthouse Medical as well. The symptoms of neuropathy make life very difficult, don't they? Oh, yeah. But there is help at Lighthouse Medical. Lighthouse Medical has a treatment for neuropathy, a treatment that works, and a treatment that lasts. Steve Kane had his neuropathy treatment over 3.5 years ago. He saw relief after the first treatment. Shortly after that, they rid him of his neuropathy symptoms, and over 3.5 years later, the symptoms have not returned. Give Lighthouse Medical a call. They can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you are in the world. Now, if you're local, you're more than welcome to go in person and pop it out. But no matter where you are on the planet Earth, Lighthouse Medical can help rid you of your neuropathy too. I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour, come back with your calls and much more. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Back after this. All right, we'll be back in about 20 seconds, guys. Stand by. We're still in top of the hour radio break. We'll be back shortly. 15 seconds. All right, the 7 o'clock hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Of course, we're celebrating everything America today. The Easter miracle of our Air Force colonel rescued without any loss of American life 200 miles deep in enemy territory with one of the most spectacular military rescue operations in history. And, of course, followed by America going back to the moon today. So let's go back to the phones, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, it's fantastic that we saved the pilots that were down and the CIA tricked Iran. But, man, I think it was not very smart for the media to say that, oh, yeah, the CIA tricked Iran. So now if the Iranians didn't know, they certainly know now. And now next time if somebody goes down, God forbid something that happened, oh, what happened? But if it does, now the Iranians are going to say, oh, you're not tricking us again. So
I'm sure they have other. I'm sure they have other tricks. I'm sure this wasn't their only trick.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't let anybody know any tricks. Keep it quiet.
Well, you can't help the media. The media leak crap out.
Yeah.
You know, the media told the Iranians that our Humvees didn't have armor underneath in Iraq. So Soleimani developed the IED. So the media have betrayed our military many times and will again.
Yeah, I mean,
remember the media, we were tracking bin Laden in the early days of the war in Afghanistan after 9/11, and the media reported how we were tracking him. He was using some type of shortwave radio, so we stopped doing it, and we lost him. He got away because of the American media. This is what they do.
Yeah, there's somebody who should be a little more strict on what they allow them to say. But I mean, I know you're supposed to be able to say what you want in free media, but damn, selling our secrets how we save the guy. What's the difference? We saved them. How did we save them? We saved them. That's
exactly.
No. But anyway, but the media doesn't care, and if somebody else now is not saved, it's because of them.
That's
it's
right.
Really a terrible thing.
That's right.
If I like to say.
All right. Take care. Appreciate the call, Doug. Very good call. Agree with everything you said. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vancouver.
Hey, Vancouver.
You need to interview Flat Earth Dave. You need to interview Flat Earth Dave, and I'm not a liberal. I'm a conservative, and the moon landing is fake, my friend.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that, coming from a sad country that doesn't have the ability to get to the moon unless they're hitching a ride, that you think it didn't happen.
Let me tell you something. I hate the way Canada is right now. I'm a conservative. I love Trump.
Well, no, I'm not going to talk to Flat. Excuse me. I'm not going to talk to Flat Earth Dave, but I got you on the line. So why do you think that we didn't go to the moon?
Well, I'll tell you a couple things. First thing is in the Bible, the earlier Bible. They said that there is a firmament. You asked about that.
Oh my goodness, the firmament. I've been hearing the firmament is I've not heard these skeptics talk about this before. The firmament. The best way for me to describe it, they believe the Earth is shaped like a snow globe where the bottom's flat, so you can set it on a table, and we can't leave the Earth and all this stuff.
No, that is propaganda, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they. That's what they. There's a society. There's a gentleman in Washington State.
I don't care about all the. I've got you. Okay, so you don't believe America.
He got more hits than Donald Trump when he first got elected.
Why do you think that America has not gone to the moon, other than the fact you're from a country that can't get there?
Well, listen. I'm not here. I'm not in a piston contest with you.
I'm asking you why don't you want to accept that we're our guys? We got one of you guys. There's a Canadian with us on this mission.
Well, listen. I can tell when it's raining outside and somebody's peeing on my leg, and I don't quite understand that the concept that there's something that's stopping us from getting out of here. Look at Operation High Jump. Have you looked at that? Have you looked
Now,
at the
all you're doing is throwing out words and
When was
phrases.
the
So,
Antarctica
tell me why we are not at the moon right now. We have 3 Americans and a Canadian
Because
at
we
the moon
cannot-
right now.
We cannot leave this realm that we're in, my friend.
The realm? What realm is that?
The realm that we live in, it is not a round ball in space. We've never left this thing.
The Earth is a sphere, not round like a ball. It's a sphere.
No, it's not. The mathematical formula for Earth is 8 inches per mile squared.
So all these
no.
So all of these spaceships that have been going up to the moon since the early 1960s, that have been taking pictures of the Earth, you don't believe that you don't believe any of these pictures are real? All right, there we go. First dump of the day. First dump of the day. You had to be careful to hear that one. First dump of the day, Mike. Oh my goodness. It doesn't surprise me at all that I get a moon skeptic who's not an American. See, part of this is why Obama shut down the American manned space program. The countries around the world, it just drives them nuts that we've been to the moon and no one else has. It just drives them nuts. And, I want to remind you guys, like this guy's calling me from Canada. Wherever many of you are listening on the radio, of course, on our radio stations, but we have listeners from all over the world that listen to this program, that listen online, watch me on YouTube and things like this. And you're able to listen to me and watch me around the world and around America, beyond the reach of our radio stations, because of the space program satellite technology. And you're calling me on a cell phone, probably. Who has a landline anymore? I don't have any landlines. You call on cell phones that are all satellite technology as well. I mean, it's true. But see, people around the world, and you could hear in the Canadian caller's voice the hysterics that is just a panic. The idea that we can do something that no one else can. And people say, well, the technology's been there for so long. Then why has no other country done it? Right? Because they can't. Only we can do it. That's right. And that drives the rest of the world nuts. Obama shut down the manned American space program. What he did is the original shuttle was approved by Richard Nixon when he was president. And President Bush retired the shuttle because, it wasn't very safe of a vehicle. I mean, and on top of that, he approved the replacement vehicle for the shuttle, which was a smaller version of it. And when Obama became president, he shut down the replacement vehicle to the shuttle program. And the reason he did that is because he didn't like the idea that the United States dominated in space. And this, it drives the rest of the world nuts. And we used to have to hitch rides with the Russians. This lady astronaut that's on the Artemis mission, she's been in space before. She went up on a Russian rocket. What an embarrassment. And countries around the world, like the Canadian there, I cannot imagine what it must be like not being an American. When you are a citizen of the greatest, most advanced and powerful country that's number one in everything that's important, technology, space, the economy, best system of government. We're number one in everything that's important. And you're from a country that has to hitch a ride with us to get there, Canada. I cannot imagine what it must be like to not be from the best, most powerful, most advanced country in the world. But I can tell you this, they don't like it. And I know they don't like it because I talk to them on the phone, right? Now, this colonel that was rescued, that was shot down in this very lucky shot by the Iranians. I was talking earlier. He climbed this 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle. He broke his ankle on the ejection, maybe the landing, but he had a broken ankle and he still climbed this 7,000-foot mountain. That's amazing. I just, this guy is something else. I'd like to shake this guy's hand one day. He sounds like an amazing guy. And I wonder, Dr. Appleton, if you're listening, if you're suffering from pain, from injuries that you've had, like broken ankles in the past, go see Dr. Appleton. Maybe, I don't know, is Dr. Appleton out there, or did they fly him over to the war zone to treat the colonel with his robotic laser wave pain treatment? He very well may be over there. The robotic laser wave pain treatment works on every pain I've ever heard of. And I've learned about a lot of pains I never heard of before from listeners in the years that Dr. Appleton has been with us. And most of the injury, most of the pain that I've been treated for with Dr. Appleton has been from injuries, falling off my skateboard and stuff. Some of it was arthritis, from aging, but I had knee pain from a car accident years ago, falling off my skateboard, things like that. And I know when I have pain from an injury and my arthritis, that the pain is gone without shots, without injections, without downtime. It's completely painless and without surgery. And none of the pains have returned. So if you're suffering with pain, go see Dr. Appleton. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. The consultation is free and online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to be back in about 30 seconds. We're still in radio break. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. This firmament thing is a new thing I've heard. It seems rather ridiculous. All right, stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. President Trump over the weekend endorsed Steve Hilton for governor of California, which means MAGA, we need to support him. And Steve Hilton, I've interviewed Steve Hilton. He's been a guest on my podcast. And he was on Fox for many years. And the poll numbers have been in his favor. Gavin Newsom, to replace it with Steve Hilton would be like replacing him with Ronald Reagan in comparison, because he's so radical. And this is an interview that Steve Hilton did, and this was before he got the endorsement over the weekend. But he has a great proposal. Wow. Okay, so yeah, no taxes on your first 100,000. So that means virtually almost everyone in California would not have to pay state income taxes. Now, I'm very lucky here in Florida. Not only do we not have a state income tax in Florida, it is part of the Florida state constitution, so there's no fear of it. But this is an interesting thing. Steve Hilton's running on eliminating state income taxes for almost every Californian because most people make under 100,000. And he wants to see the Democrats have to run against that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that, Steve Hilton. When I was growing up, when I was young, one of my grandfathers was a union guy before I was born. He was older, and he was a big time union Democrat, and he was in the unions like in the 30s and 40s. He was born in 1899, so he was my grandfather. So he was really, and he had this idea in his head that the Democrats were for the working man and that the Republicans were for the rich and big business. When in fact the opposite is true. The Republican Party is the party of the working man and small business. And, and he's talking about $3 gas. There's so much taxation and regulation on gas in California, that they have the highest gas prices in the country. The gas prices are so high for many different reasons. I don't remember the exact number because it hasn't come up in a while, but there's over 20 different gasoline formulas. Different states have different gasoline mixtures that they require by law. And the Democrats have stopped refineries from being built since Jimmy Carter was president. President Trump has a new refinery being built, but and California gas prices have been so high. But you listen to Steve Hilton, and you can see that the Republican Party is the party of working people. No income tax, at least state income tax, on people earning $100,000 or less. And I think that's a great national proposal, isn't it? Your first $100,000, no income tax. How would you like that? Oh, man, that'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? Absolutely. But Democrats, they've never seen a tax they don't love. And they want to raise everyone's taxes because to Democrats, humans are, what we are to the Democrats is this. Humans, you know what we are? We're an organism that excretes money for them to spend on their precious illegals or the Somali pirates of Minneapolis, whatever they're doing. They don't even view us as people. We're living organisms that excrete tax revenue for them to steal. That's all we are to them. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Pete from Oakland Park.
Hey, Pete. What's on your mind?
Well, this guy that called Ken. I mean, wow. I mean, we have photographs after photographs after photographs of the other planets. So all the other planets are round. The moon is round. I was looking at this morning when I was taking the trash out. The moon is round. But we're square. Every other planet is round, but we're square.
Yeah, and the moon itself, we see the moon, and we see the shape of the moon with the naked eye.
I seen it this morning. I was looking at it this morning thinking.
Listen, you hear that guy, and I know not all moon skeptics are Canadians, but they're all American haters. Yeah. It must be scary to be from another country, and your country doesn't have the ability to send people to the moon, but we can do it.
No, they just, I don't know why they vote those idiots in up there to run that country and everything, and they just.
Well, we got idiots that get elected here. We've got Ro Khanna and Hakeem Jeffries and AOC and Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz. I mean, we've got, Ilhan Omar and Tlaib. We've got our own lunatics too.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just hoping everybody can sit down and just.
But you know what, though? I was watching the internet. I was watching the astronauts being interviewed from Artemis 2 over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And so it's let me answer all the. It's 3 Americans and a Canadian, and the Canadian. I heard the Canadian talk like I've never heard an astronaut talk before. He was terrified, And he was talking.
Well,
He was talking about something that happened, and I've never heard an astronaut talk this way. Artemis 2 left the Earth and went about 60,000 miles or so away, and then came back to the Earth to orbit to gain speed using our gravity to get momentum to go to the moon.
Yeah.
And the Canadian astronaut was talking about how it felt like they were falling, and he was afraid. And he told the commander, "I think we're going to crash into the Earth because we're falling so fast toward." And I'm like, I've never heard an astronaut talk so cowardly, and it was the Canadian.
All these years prior to Trump, every government and higher up company and all these places have been saturated with these idiots. And
yes,
and now Trump and thank God in the military they've got a lot of them out there. And they're weeding them out every day, and I hope it happens all through the government and everything. We get rid of these America haters that are actually in our legislative branch, making our laws and everything. It's just it's dystopian.
Yeah.
Crap,
Do you think this colonel that climbed the mountain, 7,000-foot mountain that got shot down with a broken ankle? Do you think he was one of those? You think he was one of those transgendered soldiers we saw when Biden was president, wearing prom dresses on TikTok? I don't think so.
Walk in high heels.
Yeah.
Hard to walk in high heels, period, much less have a broken ankle.
Exactly.
But, I'm so proud of those guys.
Yeah, me too.
Especially of him. He just he exemplified what our military should be about. I was in Vietnam. I'm 70 years old today.
Happy birthday.
And, well, thank you. I know you've got one coming up too.
I do. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so proud of the guys that went in there and got him. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of Donald Trump, man, because he's starting to straighten this stuff out. And I hope we vote more people in like Donald Trump and keep this country great instead of turning into crazy.
You're right. All right. Hey, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Sloman's. Oh man, this is great. I've got one of these doorbell cameras, and I love it. You heard me. I was on the air Friday talking with Steve. I got a notification. There was movement at my door. It was an Amazon guy. It's so nice being able to see what's there and getting notifications and being able to check in no matter where I am. When I get a notification, I can handle the whole system. Sloman's Home Security is offering a free home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring. You get that all for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. All you got to do is call 833-283-5050. It's a free home security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door window sensors, a motion detector, notification, and remote keypad access so you can check in from anytime, anywhere, like me when I'm on the air. Give them a call no matter where you're located, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Matthew. I'm calling from Missouri. I want to ask you, do you think this is going to end anytime soon?
What is this? What are you talking about?
The war with Iran, because people are suffering, in the U.S. when it comes to financially.
You're suffering?
Gas prices going up.
You're suffering? Gas prices.
I'm suffering. I'm struggling. Yeah, with gas prices.
Gas prices.
Food prices are going up.
Food prices are going down, but you're listen, we had a U.S. Air Force colonel climb a 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle after ejecting from an aircraft at a 90-degree angle that had just been hit with a lucky shot from an enemy missile. And you're worried about a little bit of gas prices?
Brian,
what kind of wimp are you?
Brian, we have no business there, Brian. Come on.
What do you mean we have no business there? Iran on 2 occasions, according to President Trump, has tried to assassinate him. Is assassinating a president an act of war?
True, Brian.
Really?
Brian,
wait a second. Wait a second. Where are you calling me from? Oh, the second dump of the day, Mike. Second dump of the day. I was just getting ready to go in on that guy, too. Second dump of the day. If you're on hold, stand by. There have been multiple assassination attempts by Iran on President Trump. Okay? If that's not an act of war, I don't know what is. And I'll tell you this. If it was an attempt on any of the other presidents, past presidents, I would say that's an act of war as well. If you're on hold, stand by while we wait for the delay to re-engage. Oh, my goodness. Our radio station uses the delay dump button more than any other radio station in America because we take calls from liberals, and liberals can't control themselves. Before we go back to the phones, President Trump posted something on True Social, and the media and the Democrats and the left are just having meltdowns. Tuesday, that's tomorrow, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, the president wrote, but he wrote the whole word. You crazy, and he said bastages. Anyone know what that's from? Or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. Okay. Now, what has these liberals freaking out is, praise be to Allah. I'm watching this yesterday, and he says, praise be to Allah. And I'm hearing these liberals yesterday, and they'll probably do it today too. They're having these, how disrespectful. How could he say praise be to Allah on Easter of all days? Since when do the liberals care about Easter as so far as what it means, the day Christ rose, right? All of a sudden, the Democrats, the liberals, are the protectors of Christianity and of Jesus and of Easter. These people are out of their mind. Obviously, when he said praise be to Allah, that's called sarcasm. But see, Trump derangement syndrome has a lot of negative side effects. Okay? And one of the negative side effects of Trump derangement syndrome is the loss of a sense of humor and the inability to understand or get sarcasm. They have no ability to comprehend sarcasm or humor. Trump derangement syndrome suffers. Okay, the delay is re-engaged. We'll try to take some calls again. Hold on, let me answer all these lines. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your... No. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Linus, Colorado.
Hey, Linus. What's on your mind? Here we go. Get ready.
So why are you wearing a Trump 2028 hat? Because you know that Trump cannot run a third term.
Well, I would like President Trump to run in 2028, 2032, 2036.
Because the fucking law.
There we go. All right. Third dump of the day. Third dump of the day, Mike. Oh, my goodness. You know, Mike's going to have to go in at Dr. Appleton and have his dump finger treated with the robotic laser away pain treatment too. Oh my goodness. You know, I've been on the air since 5:20 a.m. I have only talked to one liberal who's not used bad language. They're in a freak out mode today. If you're on hold, stand by while we wait for the delay to re-engage. Think about this. We have two great things happening yesterday and today. This incredible rescue of the colonel from the mountaintop without any loss of life by SEAL Team 6. And today we're going to be back at the moon. Why are you liberals so upset? How could you be so upset? Oh, man. Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Oh, I love Coastal Weight Loss Secret. They really, have changed my life so much. This was the first time I'd been on any organized official weight loss program at all. And I was a little nervous because I've seen these stories and seen people I've known over my life that yo-yo diet, they lose weight, they gain it back and everything else. And I was a little worried. And then Coastal Weight Loss Secret, so easy to lose the weight. I lost about 1 pound a day. And it's been almost a year since I reached my target weight, and I haven't gained any weight back. And I do weigh myself regularly to make sure. I've been throwing clothes away for months because they just don't fit me anymore. I'm wearing pants. Right now, I'm wearing a pair of jeans that are like 20 years old. I keep things. I don't throw. I'm not a pack rat, but I keep things, like clothes and stuff in my closet and drawers. And I'm wearing like 20-year-old jeans. These fit me so well. And they haven't fit me for years because I've lost inches off my waistline. You can do it too. No shots, no injections, no pills, no exercise. I didn't starve myself, and I eat foods I would normally eat. And you can do it too. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose weight no matter where you're located. Give them a call, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Okay, we'll go back to the phones. Rescuing an American colonel with no Americans lost and going to the moon should make you excited, not make you come unglued. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carlos, Port St. Lucie.
Hey, Port St. Lucie.
Hey, I got two quick things. I had to leave last Good Friday for holiday because of the Easter, so I missed the show Friday. But Thursday, you had a guy with a girl's name calling from Harlem.
Renee.
He was saying something before he hung, and he said something before he hung up that this country needs to pay somebody. I just wondered if you could call in and see what he meant, because I don't understand. This country don't owe nobody.
Probably him. He probably has his hand out. He probably wants to be paid personally for reparations for slavery that he didn't experience.
You're right. So if he comes in front of a judge, the judge is going to ask him, who was your master and how many times did you get beat and how long were you a slave? Only slaves can pay for that, and they're all dead, and all the masters are dead. Nobody gets nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, Allah means God. If people don't understand that Allah means God, you know what I mean? So Trump was right.
Praise be to God. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
One question for you.
Oh, here. Why is it with the liberals? Why do these liberals have all these questions? All right. Go ahead with your question.
If Trump is such a great president, why did he ruin this country?
Why did he? I'm not aware that he has ruined the country. Can you explain?
He is ruining the fucking country.
There we go. All right. Dump again. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there you go, Mike. Next dump. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Isn't this wonderful? This is who they want to put. You know what's crazy about these liberal callers? These are the people that were running the country the last 4 years. This is the constituent of Biden, of Kamala, of AOC, of Gavin Newsom, of Tim Walz. This is their constituency. Now, the question I was going to ask And that's why he had the little outburst, was explain to me how President Trump has ruined the country. Now he's ruined it for the illegals. They can't just waltz on in and retire off the government anymore. I get that, and I did hear a bit of an accent with that caller, but we didn't get far enough into the conversation to figure that out. All right, those of you on hold, stand by. My name is Brian. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And I want to tell you this. I got a message for you. Don't let the silent killers win. That, of course, is heart disease and cancer. These are silent and even symptom-free killers. Yeah. And that's where Life Imaging FLA comes in, with locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. And, I get calls from people on this program that went to Life Imaging FLA for the heart scan, and then they also had the cancer screening, and they found out that they have got blockage or a heart condition or tumors or other cancers that they had no idea about, no symptoms. And they found out about these problems early enough so they could go to their doctor and take care of it. You know what the first symptom of a heart attack is? Instant death. That's right. And with Life Imaging FLA, you could have these silent killers and not even know it. It's amazing to me that these things are symptom-free, but they are. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now, with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. By the way, when you're over there, make sure you ask about the cancer screening and the virtual colonoscopy. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you will be connected in seconds. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our last break of this hour, come back with more calls, and we've only scratched the surface of the news today. We'll be back right after this. Yeah, come on. All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds, guys. Oh, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. 15 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, these liberal callers, it's like a poll. When we're losing and they're winning, they don't call in angry. They call in laughing at us. And there's so much winning going on, they can't control themselves. Oh, I want to let you guys know, last night on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, which all of you should be following me on YouTube. I am on YouTube about 20 hours a day. With my podcast and I live stream in the mornings and all kinds of stuff. You know, I did an hour show before the radio show this morning on YouTube. But I uploaded our 10th annual MAGA cruise video and vlog last night. It debuted and it's available. And those of you that have been on our past cruises or on the most recent cruise and haven't seen it, make sure you check it out after 9 a.m. Don't do anything till 9. But those of you that have not been on one of our cruises, go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show, later and watch the video of our 10th annual MAGA cruise. You'll get to see how much fun we have, where we go, and the people that are on the cruise with us. And it's a troll-free zone. And we don't, you know, these people I talk to on the phone, they're not on the cruise, as you'll see when you watch the video. So check it out. And this cruise video, I spent 2 days editing that video, 2 full days. In fact, I thought it was done. And on Friday's show, I announced, oh, I'm going to debut the video and premiere it Sunday night, which I did. And it's 90% done. And I went to the video and no, I was not even halfway done. I thought I was, but so I spent all day working on that video Friday as well. I spent 2 full days editing that video. And you'll enjoy it. Those of you that were there, it'll bring back some good memories, even though we've been back 8 days only. But if you've ever thought about going on one of our cruises, go and watch the video. You'll see how much fun we've had and who gets to go and what a great time it is to be a part of our MAGA cruises. Because the 11th MAGA cruise is in March, and if you make your reservation now early, it's a non-refundable. It is a refundable deposit. I mean, a refundable deposit is available right now, and that will not always be the case. But anyway, go check out the video and let me know what you think. Okay, so let's get back on track. You know, I don't know what's driving the liberals more crazy today, that America is going to the moon again, or that we rescued the pilot, or is it a combination of the two just destroyed them? But this rescue mission of the colonel who was shot down was just an amazing event. This is Fox News. I played this earlier in the show. I'm going to play this again. This is Fox News detailing the rescue, and I'll add a few things to it. That's the combat search and rescue is what CSAR is, right? Amazing. Isn't that amazing? So the CIA, they had this whole misinformation campaign going on that we had rescued the guy and we were by land removing him from Iran. So they moved all their forces to this area and we were blowing them out of the water. Well, blowing them out of existence on the ground. And we didn't even know where he was yet. Everyone involved in this deserves multiple medals. Mm-hmm. That which is amazing in itself. And this colonel, I mean, did you see the video of that lucky shot the Iranians got? That was a real air battle. And when they ejected the aircraft, the fighter was almost like at a 90-degree angle. They ejected at 500 miles per hour. And he had a broken ankle, either from the ejection or hitting the ground. He had a broken ankle, and he still climbed a 7,000-foot mountain. And the reason he did it is he climbed the mountain 7,000 feet. Could you take 7 steps with a broken ankle? I couldn't walk 7 feet with a broken ankle. Not without crutches, and even that would be difficult. He climbed a mountain 7,000 feet high with a broken ankle and found a place where he could hide out up there, some crevice. And he did that so that he had line of sight with his radio. This is training, yeah, but training doesn't, this is more than training. I mean, this is a man's man, this guy. I mean, this is like a John Wayne type. This is something else. This isn't one of those guys that spends his days on Twitch streaming or in prom dresses. I mean, this is a man's man. who did something beyond amazing and extraordinary. And he was rescued. And, you know, the country, you hear these liberals. The last time I remember a pilot getting shot down in a rescue like this was during Bosnia. It wasn't anywhere as daring as this. But the country rallied. Remember that guy that got shot down in Bosnia? It was nothing like this. And still the country rallied around him when he came home. This guy here, the left are ticked. They're just angry. They wanted him captured in the worst way by the Iranians and dragged through the streets of Tehran because it would hurt Trump. But they rescued him without any American loss of life. And they had everybody. The Iranians had the army looking for him. They had the Revolutionary Guard looking for him. They had local villagers who were armed looking for him. And not only were they not able to find him and we found him, we set up a base 200 miles into enemy territory in Iran. We set up a temporary military base and airstrip and rescued a guy 200 miles in their own country that they couldn't find without any American loss of life. And you've heard the calls I've taken today. I've been talking to liberals since 5:20 a.m. Not one of them has been anything short of angry. All but one of them has used profanity. That's it. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. But you know what? They're a minority. Most people in this country are proud of SEAL Team 6, of the president, Pete Hegseth, General Kane, everyone involved in this mission, and of course the colonel himself. And when I saw this story on Friday that they rescued the pilot and the other airman they didn't know where he was, it was frightening. Frightening. I was worried about this guy all weekend, and I know all you out there were worried too. You good Americans were worried. The liberals were hoping he'd get captured, but good Americans, loyal Americans, real Americans were worried about this guy, as was the president. That's why we didn't see him all weekend, because he was in the Situation Room taking care of this, and take care of it he did. Now, on Friday's show, Jamie Levac from Swift Tax called in, and it's getting close to the tax deadline, but don't worry. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax will help you. There still is time, okay? If you don't have your documents, that's okay. Call Jamie Levac. He'll help you get your documents together. If you've had your taxes prepared already by another accountant, call Jamie Levac. Have him review. Make sure you're getting the largest return that you're entitled to. If you're here local in South Florida, you're very much welcome to meet with Jamie Levac in person at his office. His office is right here in South Florida, even though he can help you with your taxes no matter where you are in the United States. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac's cell phone. Call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. Call us on hold. You stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with more calls and more to discuss. Don't go anywhere. Back right after this.
they'll be there. How many times have you called somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse? Weather, traffic, whatever. Pamela Porter, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Thanks, Dr. Appleton. Now do what Dr. Appleton did. Pick up your phone and call Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing on your cell phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. Oh, man, we are still in radio break for about a minute. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It's toll-free 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And if you could please like the video, guys. You know, liking the video helps spread the word about the channel and helps people find me that have not yet found me. So please like the video. And after you like the video, if you get that hype option available, please use that as well. But liking the video helps so much spread the word about the channel. All right, 20 seconds. We'll be back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We are celebrating America today, between Americans returning to the moon today and the rescue of the colonel from Iran without any loss of life. Great things to celebrate. Liberals, obviously, in the listening audience today, not doing well. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brother Brian, good morning, IB.
Hey, IB.
Hi. I was calling in about the pilots, because I'm glad you brought up Bosnia. It reminded me of the movie with Gene Hackman and Owen Wilson, Behind Enemy Lines.
Yeah, that's right.
War, not movie. You know, yeah. the goosebumps seeing that guy pulled up on the helicopter.
Yeah,
man, that is like you're the second person to talk about how we're going to make a movie about this. I mean, that was perfection. Okay, this is Trump showing strength. Strength. Remember, we have to take back what is originally ours, going all the way back to the Monroe Doctrine. But seeing that, oh man, was I like filled with joy and not knowing that they cannot use him for propaganda and it stops the media cold in their tracks. Where are they going to go now with it? There's nothing else to talk about. This guy won't be paraded around or harmed, okay? And to do what he did, man. I mean, that is really, really. Even though you still have the adrenaline going and everything, but to still achieve that even in normal conditions, okay?
Absolutely.
It also gives us a way to kind of see what kind of ground forces they have. Remember, they still have these guys like the real misfits. still hiding there in the mountains, waiting to do whatever damage they can. Doesn't matter if the regime or a new regime comes into power. Those are the diehard people, and the only way to get rid of them is to squash them, like Richie say, like roaches. And speaking of Richie, boy, you got a lot of material now because you sure have a lot of nut jobs calling in. I can't wait for your next caller, Richie, to see what you got to say about
what do you, what,
you
know, your perspective is different. You know, I'm here living through it. You're listening. What is wrong with these leftists today that they're, why are they so unglued and unhinged?
Brian, I've been around people like just in normal situations where you just look at them and you go, I don't understand how a person can behave and act this way under normal circumstances.
I think it's the winning. You know, America's winning and they can't handle it. All right, IB, thank you for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is James.
Yes, James.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
President? Yes. Sorry. No, I was just making breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Why is President Trump threatening that Iran needs to open the straits? Didn't last week he say that the straits would just kind of magically open on their own, like the same way he said like COVID would just disappear and go away?
Which it did go away, right? It did go away, right? COVID?
Only a few years after he said it would.
It went away though, right?
Right.
So he was right.
He's right.
Well, I mean, aren't you, you know, with all this talk about the Straits of Hormuz, who's standing up for the gays of Hormuz?
I don't know. Is that where you live?
I don't know. I mean, do you have any concern for the gays of Hormuz or just the Straits of Hormuz?
By the way, being that we completely annihilated all their air defenses, how did those planes fall out of the sky? Were the Iranians throwing rocks at them?
It's called a lucky shot. Yeah, so now slow down. While you're trying to while you're trying to grasp with the gays of Hormuz question, you know, they with a lucky shot they took down one plane, and no American loss of life, right? What are you suggesting? Should we surrender to Iran over one lucky shot? What is your suggestion?
What is the objective here?
No. That's not an answer. That's another question. They got one plane down with a lucky shot with no loss of American life. What is your suggestion? Should we surrender or pull out because of that?
No, we should not. No, we should not surrender. So now answer my question.
I've answered a lot of your questions.
What is the objective?
The objective is to shut down the terrorist state that's run by the Islamic Republic.
Shut down the Strait of Hormuz. That we've accomplished.
No. I said shut down the Islamic Ayatollah fanatical religious leadership that continues to wreak havoc on the world through terrorism. They're responsible for October 7th. They were behind that. And the repeated assassination attempts against the president.
We already accomplished.
No, we did not, because you're not with us. You're with them. You're on the side of Iran.
Trump said we have regime.
Tell me how you feel about the rescue of the colonel.
Trump said.
Oh, you can't do it. How do you feel about the rescue of the colonel?
It's great. Thank God he's safe and sound.
Yeah, but I know you sound excited. Get off the phone, you Iranian. Which side is he on? Is he on our side or Iran's side? What do you guys think? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is James from Minneapolis, and I just wanted a really quick one.
You're in Minneapolis. Do you happen to own a Leering Center in Minneapolis?
Believe it or not so much.
You don't own a Leering Center.
Oh, that's up here by my wife.
Oh boy. That's another dump. Fifth dump of the day, Mike. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this what it was like in 1969 when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon? Were people this upset? You know, the Vietnam War was going on. My dad was in Vietnam then when that happened, 1969, right? Is this how they were when we landed on the moon? Were the liberals like this? Vietnam was going on. We're going to the moon. So we got a war going on and we're going to the moon today. and they're completely unhinged. Oh my God! If you're on hold, stand by. Oh my goodness! I am serious about this. With all of this defense of the Straits of Hormuz, is there anyone standing up for the gays of Hormuz? Really, I'm serious about that. That was a serious question. Boy, oh boy, I tell you. What must it be like to be a liberal? It's got to be very frustrating, right? You know what? Liberals all have headaches today. They feel like they've had strokes. They really do. I want to talk about those of you out there who have neuropathy. If you are a level and have neuropathy, call Lighthouse Medical. Neuropathy is living torture. It really is. It makes life very difficult. It is painful. A lot of times, and I remember I had a grandmother that used to fall down all the time when I was a little kid. She probably had neuropathy, dizziness, falling down all the time, which can be deadly when you're a senior. That's a sign of neuropathy. If you have neuropathy, the suffering, it can all end. Call Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you're located in the world. In fact, with telehealth and everything, they can help you if you're on Artemis 2 at the moon. But if you're local, you're more than welcome to go in person, and you should if you can, and see them in person in Pompano. But no matter where you're located, even local, if you can't get out of the house, Lighthouse Medical understands that when you have neuropathy, it may be difficult for you to leave your house. Give them a call. They can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you are. You don't have to go to the office to be treated by them. 754-222-6642 is the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back with your calls after this. All right, guys, we are going to be back in about 40 seconds. So stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, my goodness. We haven't had a happy Democrat today. Why is that? What do you think it is, guys? I mean, what, like they can't even pretend. Oh, yeah, we'll share that. Okay. They can't even pretend. All right, got about 25 seconds. All right, we're back on this Monday. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian. Back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Oh, hey, Richie. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I've been listening, I want to address a couple of things. First of all, derangement syndrome of the left. You can't even explain it. They hate Trump so much.
Yeah.
Because Trump is a New Yorker and Trump brags, and he comes across as a braggart. They don't even listen to what he's saying. They can't stand it. They nitpick every word, and they look at your hat, and they have Brian Craig derangement syndrome. So now you blink yourself with the president. No matter what, they are triggered by your hat. They're triggered by your attitude. When you say, I love Trump for everything, I trust him 150%, it gets them crazy. So they're calling up. One guy called up and said, Trump is ruining America. Now, I want to bring this up because it really frustrates me. You know, yesterday was Easter Sunday, a very religious holiday for Christians. And it was Passover. 2 years ago, I want you to remember what Biden had in the courtyard with the egg pick. The kids were picking eggs and they were looking for gifts. They had men in dresses. They had cross dresses. They had the gay pride flag flying all over that thing. A mockery of Christianity, and I got to say, to me, that is ruining America.
And don't forget the Easter Bunny was giving orders to the President of the United States too. Remember that?
Yeah, because he couldn't. He didn't even know what day of the week it was.
Yeah.
He was walking around like a zombie. A disgrace. But these people think we have amnesia. They want to tell you how bad Trump is. You remember when we pulled out of Afghanistan and 13 Marines were killed because the guy botched the whole thing up? And then they had to go and try to blame that on Trump too. In other words, Trump can't win. There's no way he could win.
Well, you know, I've been taking calls for 3 hours. I've talked to I don't know how many liberals. Every liberal except one has used profanity, and he was out of control too. You know, today's a day of celebration for America. Why are they so upset?
Because it's Trump. And let me tell you something. I use bad language a lot of times. Have you ever heard? You've never had to cut me off because of a curse word.
No.
Never.
No.
These people cannot express themselves. They go off they're off the charts, man. They can't relax and have a conversation because they can't beat you in a conversation. They especially, hey, let me tell you, can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk?
Yeah.
That's all I hear. Greg too said. Greg too spends 10 minutes of a phone call on 9 minutes. Can you let me talk? And when you let him talk, he's still saying, "Can you let me talk?"
And if I don't talk, it's dead air. Then he says nothing. Like he's waiting for it's bizarre.
The whole thing is bizarre. The callers are bizarre. I got to tell you, I mean, Trump is doing the greatest thing. What's happening today is the greatest day in a long time for America. I'm sorry that they haven't, and that they still try to get him on everything. I mean, you could.
Well, today is a day. Today is a day like the 250th anniversary will be on July 4th. So the president's going to come out today and at least detail this heroic mission. And he very well may announce the end of the war, but certainly detail this heroic mission. And then that's going to be followed by our astronauts at the moon.
Yeah, the last caller, by the way, called up and said if he eliminated all the air shooting out, and you said it was a lucky shot. There's rumors that the Russians, when they're sending over their humanitarian food, are bringing them they're sending the weapons to them, the Russians. That's what's
possible.
If you don't believe the Russians, it's possible, and that's the latest rumor out there.
And you know what? I know President Trump loves this colonel because President Trump likes people that don't get captured, and he didn't get captured.
Yeah, that's all the morons that are calling in the Brian Craig Show. Okay, General Kane knows a little more about military, whether we're winning or not. You can't question whether we're winning, and they want us to lose so bad that they're actually saying we're losing.
Yes.
Now it's down to the Straits of Hormuz. They don't care about what he's doing. And let me tell you,
did you hear that guy when I asked him he didn't know what to say when I asked him who's standing up for the gays of Hormuz. He didn't quite understand that.
Yeah, because Well, no, because they're marching in New York. The gays are marching in New York, propping up.
Oh, don't you love what Marco Rubio over the weekend deported Soleimani's wannabe Kardashian family from LA? That was beautiful. And you know how that happened? Laura Loomer outed them. Soleimani's Kardashian wannabe niece. And Loomer somehow got in touch with Marco, and Marco Rubio deported the entire Soleimani family. I don't know if they're going to send them to Iran or some other Muslim country, but that was amazing.
Yeah, so I'm surprised you haven't gotten the Epstein call yet today.
No, I got one already. I got a call. A liberal called me about Epstein earlier. Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Got that. You must have been in the bathroom.
Yeah, you get that hat on your head, you can expect a lot. Yeah, I feel sorry for Mike with the finger. You got to send him to the doctor because, I mean, he's going to get it. I mean, this is probably a record. I've never heard so many curses. I mean, this is.
I love it. This is great. This is great. That's how we're winning.
Oh, we're winning, and it gets them crazy. And Trump brags, and I love the fact what his tweet was when he called the Iranians stupid. You know what the word? I don't even want to say it because I don't know what you can say it on the air because you said it before the show. But he said that, and I said, what president would have said that? So they're going to hinge on every word he says. He's the most successful businessman that I know, and he's doing
president.
A great job as president of the United States.
I want you to think about it because you were in Vietnam. For us to set up a temporary military base 200 miles into enemy Iranian territory with an airstrip, and to have this without any American loss of life, that's a miracle in itself, isn't it? In an operation like, I mean, remember when Obama, they sent those guys out to get Bergdahl? They lost like 5 guys trying to rescue Bergdahl, and that wasn't even successful. That traitor.
Jimmy Carter sent the helicopters into the desert.
Eagle One, right? What was it?
When they were trying to say, let me tell you what was amazing about this operation. It was so short. What was it, 48 hours? They did that in such short time. I mean, it's amazing, and people hate the fact that we're kicking their behinds, and they deserve it. And I hope President Trump bombs them into the Stone Age. This regime's got to go. I hope they go. I don't want to see a ceasefire. I don't want to see this regime last. He's also arming, by the way.
And did you see he took out 50 of their top military leaders on Saturday, and their staff. I don't know who's running anything over there anymore.
You know the Kurds are arming the Iranian public. You know
we gave them Trump gave them weapons.
So they're going to have weapons, and they're going to make them so weak that these people will overthrow this regime that wants to kill people in this country. These people can't get it through their head that if you're not a Muslim, these crazy Muslims, I'm talking about this faction of Muslims. Not every Muslim is a terrorist, but all terrorists are Muslims.
Did you see that interview that Bill Maher did with Anna Kasparian, that liberal idiot from the Young Turks?
She's got such hate.
She's this liberal Democrat whack job. She goes on Bill Maher's show wearing this tight white dress, and she's very pro-Iranian. He asked her what Muslim country would she visit wearing that dress. It was beautiful.
Brian, she's influenced by Cenk Uygur. I mean, that's her bread and butter.
Yes.
I mean, if this guy says Jews are terrible, and I always hear Cenk, by the way, say, "I have Jewish friends."
Yeah.
You know, that's like Tucker Carlson now says that he's not anti-Semite. He's the most anti-Semite that's out there, and he's the biggest anti-Semite. So the bottom line is these people.
Well, when I saw over the weekend that Iranian state TV went on the air and offered a reward for the American, I'm surprised that they weren't airing Tucker's show. All right, Richie, I got to run, but I agree with everything you say. Let's take another call for the. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, absolutely. This is James from the Brother Bearing District.
A what district?
I'm not sure why I got cut off earlier.
Because I was done talking with you. It's one call per show.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, there was some profanity. I don't remember the call. I don't remember your call, but if you called before, it's one call per show.
This is James from Minneapolis.
I have no recollection of talking
to know what your opinion is
on what?
Who the best front runner for the next term is, because I think
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 2028. Donald Trump.
He'll be
Donald Trump.
fairly old at that point.
Donald Trump is not a normal human. He is superhuman, and he has the mind of a 50-year-old, maybe 40-year-old.
Agreed.
Okay, there you go. So that's our front runner. Oh my goodness. All right. Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh, guys. Friendly Tire in Margate's amazing. Here we are. It's raining all the time. We're in Florida. You do not want to be driving on the road with yourself and your family with tires that don't have proper tread. It's not safe. Friendly Tire in Margate, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. That's for new tires. And when I say out the door and on the road, I'm going to give you the number for Friendly Tire in a moment. When you call, that price that Mike gives you over the phone, that's out the door and on the road, meaning he doesn't charge you to balance the tire. Nope. Mount the tire or dispose of your old tire as low as $75 a tire. That's for brand new tires for common sizes on some of the most popular and common vehicles on the road today. He has thousands of good used tires in stock as low as $35 a tire out the door and on the road. And he also does tire repairs. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire. We'll be right back.
Somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse, weather, traffic, whatever. Pamela, what a class act, the workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Thanks, Dr. Appleton. Now do what Dr. Appleton did. Pick up your phone and call Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing on your cell phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. On the line, we have Jamie back from Swift Tax. It's tax season. Jamie, by now, all the other tax forms. Now that people have all their All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. All right, about 30 seconds or so, we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Please, guys, make sure that you like the video, okay? Please, liking the video helps spread the word about the channel, so please like the video if you don't mind. Okay, we're back. I'm Brian. This is Steve Kane Show on this Monday after Easter. As today we celebrate America, right? We're back at the moon today, the rescuing of the colonel in Iran with no loss of American life. It's just a great day to be an American. The number is 888-465-2631. Although the Democrats, the liberals calling this show today, don't sound happy to be an American. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
How was your Sunday? How was the church service?
I watched church with my wife at home. We watched the Mass at St. Peter's Cathedral in New York City together.
Excellent, excellent. What was the theme?
Easter, Christ has risen.
And that was the whole message?
Yeah, that's what Easter's about, man.
Of course, man. Like you're
I do miss Cardinal Dolan, who's retired. I'm not used to watching St. Peter's services without Cardinal Dolan, but the new guy is I don't know who he is, but he did good yesterday. And since my wife is unable to go to church, we watched Easter Mass together on television. Since you asked, thank you very much.
That's great. I feel bad for you. Your daughter didn't join in?
My daughter is in California visiting friends.
Oh, okay.
Any other personal information you'd like? You want to know where my mom was? My dog, my cat.
Let's get to Richie.
I mean, you know what? You're on. No. Before you get to Richie, yeah, you said a bunch of things. Before you get to Richie, I'm going to talk to the audience. Did you hear how this dope is? He's on some fishing expedition. You thought you were going to catch me on something? What did you think you were doing when you called?
I'm just curious.
I know you're just curious.
No, wait. You never let me speak for more than 5 seconds. Richie can go on ad nauseum. By the way, he has Greg derangement syndrome. He brings me up today it's Monday. I haven't talked to you since Friday, and he brings my name up. Like he's got derangement syndrome, Greg derangement syndrome. So do you as well, by the way. You guys are fascinated with me, and by the way, I know what I bring to this show: reasonableness. Like, thank God that guy was rescued, but it's sad. He's probably going to be injured for the rest of his life with an ankle injury.
With a broken ankle.
Experiencing
a broken ankle. Oh, my goodness. Really, Greg? Is that the best you got? Oh, did I lose Greg? Hold on a second. I lost my line. Are you there, Greg? No, I lost Greg. Oh, Greg, are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
You shut me down.
No, I didn't shut you down. I was putting the phones are ringing off the hook. I was putting people on hold and mistakenly put you on hold.
Get an assistant, Brian.
I don't need an assistant. I don't need an assistant.
Okay, but all right. Listen, this man, thank God he was rescued. God bless him. Okay?
Yes.
But you act like this is a victory. No. And these words you use are weird. Lucky shot. Lucky? What was lucky about it?
The Iranians got off. We have flown between the United States and Israel in the month or so since the combat operations began in Iran. There have been hundreds of air combat missions, maybe even thousands. I don't know, but certainly hundreds. They got one lucky shot. They get one plane.
What's lucky? What's lucky about it?
It was lucky for them. Lucky
Okay,
means
can I
lucky.
You give me 10 seconds.
No, I can't. Thank you. No, I can't because you won't let me finish a thought. You're so incoherent. Lucky means it was lucky for them. They fired off some rockets and they hit a plane finally after a month. That was a lucky shot for them. That's what it means. Everybody knows what it means. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Brian. This is Danielle calling from Michigan.
Oh my goodness, Danielle. These liberals I'm talking to today, they're all deranged.
I'm telling you, I just want to say something. Yeah, I'm listening. It's been a while since I've called in. I've got a lot going on, but I do listen. I just want to say kudos to Richie's call, obviously, but I'm listening to these people, and the one thing that just kind of was a little offensive is Greg and his questioning of you and your Easter Sunday. I just don't understand. These people, you know what, Brian? These people are only going to get worse. The call, your finger's going to have to be on the button. I've never heard such profanity.
I know.
It's just,
I know.
I mean, it's just really getting ridiculous. Can't you just be happy for Easter Monday?
No.
Be happy for, be happy for what is going on. And my other comment is this, because you get some people that call that are so perplexed. What are we doing in Iran? Got no business being there. Well, I'm a little bit older than you, Brian, and I remember all of the stuff that's been going on. And if we don't take care of what we need to take care of right now, Brian, we're going to be faced with this in 4, 5, 6 more years. They're going to have weaponry that is going to be able to just wreak havoc and destroy the world.
Yeah.
So for all of these people that don't quite understand, go back and see what this, remember the 240 Marines, remember all of the people that they've wounded and killed.
October 7th was Iran. Don't forget October 7th was Iran.
Yeah, October 7th, exactly. Remember all of this stuff. And you know something? I'm not complaining one bit about the price of gas. And let me tell you something. These people need to remember, under Biden, the gas was more expensive than it is right now.
Yeah.
So we are taking care of a problem.
Listen, we've got an American colonel who climbed a 7,000-foot mountain with a broken ankle after ejecting at 500 miles an hour from a jet plane that was involved in aerial combat. And I'm hearing from callers that are upset about a little gas price for a couple of months. Come on.
Exactly.
Butch up,
people
snowflake.
Need to wake up.
Yeah.
They need to wake up and they need to see what's going on. And they need to get on board with America first, is what they need to do. They need to start loving their country. Brian, let me say my last comment. Can you imagine for one moment if these lunatics get back in charge?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, have a blessed day, and everybody should be very happy. And I'm not understanding your callers, but it's going to get worse.
Okay, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Thanks for the call. Yeah, it is. They're not understanding themselves either. It's just rage at all this winning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Mark from New York. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Hey,
Here we go. Here we go.
I know you cut the clip off twice. Why don't you play the part where Trump says, "Praise be to Allah"?
I did. It wasn't a soundbite. I did know it was a post to Truth Social, and I showed it.
Oh,
what about it?
Do you agree with that? Praise be to Allah on Easter, on a Christian holiday. He's praising another person's religion. I don't understand that.
When I went over this earlier, I'm going to do it again. Okay. I'm going to read you the, now I can't use all the language because the president did use some salty language that I can't use on the radio. Okay. But I'll read it. I'll read this to you. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing strait, you crazy bastages, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. That's the post.
on Easter. He's praising Allah on
Okay.
Easter.
No, this is what I was talking. I'm going to repeat what I said earlier when I covered this. See, people that suffer from Trump, I love how these liberals like you are all of a sudden the defender of Easter, okay, and Christianity and Jesus. It's amazing to me. But, I know who took all these liberals that took praying out of the classrooms, the Bible out of school and all that stuff, God out of the pledge and all this business. But one of the things that Trump derangement syndrome does, it doesn't just rot your brain and make you angry all the time. It takes away your sense of humor and ability to understand sarcasm. When he said "Praise be to Allah," how did you say praise? What did he say? You didn't say Allah. You said it in a different way, with like an accent.
He said "Praise be to Allah."
You said Allah, like you were speaking like your Mom Donnie. That's how Mom Donnie says Allah. That was called sarcasm. He was being sarcastic. By the way, Allah is God, so he's saying praise be to God in their terms, but he was being sarcastic. That's sarcasm.
Oh. No, that's not true.
Oh, really? You think he was involved? Wait a second. So maybe I'm slow. So you think President Trump was promoting Islam on Easter? He was encouraging people to converting to Islam? Is that what he was doing? What was he?
Absolutely.
Oh, you think President Trump was encouraging people to convert to Islam? You want to do you listen to yourself?
I don't know what Dementia Don's doing, okay? I don't know what Dementia Don is up to, okay? But here's the thing. You guys don't understand this. You think that we're going to, just commit war crimes against Iran, which bombing their power plants and bridges is absolutely a war crime.
Really? So we committed war crime. So we committed war. The Chinese convention.
The Geneva Convention.
So we didn't bomb any utilities in the Second World War.
I'm just saying that we
didn't bomb any utilities in the Second World War. If I look up the Geneva Convention, where do I find in the part of the Geneva Convention? I'll look it up right now while I'm on the air. What part of the Geneva Convention says you can't bomb utility companies?
You can't go after.
No. Where in the Geneva Convention does it say that?
I don't know.
Well, you're the one that said it violates it. You just said it violates the Geneva Convention. So you must know where in the Geneva Convention and say it off the phone, you liar. Oh, my goodness. He doesn't know. He actually said President Trump was encouraging people to convert to Islam with that post on True Social. Do you know what the first symptom of a heart attack is? You know what it is? Instant death. That's right. I didn't realize this growing up, but it's very true. Both cancer and heart conditions, heart attacks, blockage, things like this. These are not symptomatic oftentimes. People go through life, all of a sudden they drop dead. They had no idea they were about to have a heart attack. People go to the doctor, find out they have inoperable cancer. They had no symptoms. I know, it's crazy. When you get older, you start to think about such things. But thankfully, we have Life Imaging FLA that have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. And these silent killers, you can find out about them before, they kill you, but before they develop beyond the ability of modern medicine to take care of you. And you've heard multiple listeners that have called me on this program that have found out they've had tumors and other cancers, as well as multiple heart conditions, including major blockage, because they took my advice and went over to Life Imaging FLA and had the heart scan and also asked about the cancer screening. And make sure you also not just ask about the cancer screening, ask about the virtual colonoscopy, guys, okay? Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you will be connected in seconds. Callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break and be back after this. Boy, oh boy, these callers today. Unreal. There you have it. I mean, there's this whole anchor baby birth scam that's coming on. Now, you know, here we are going back to the moon today. Look at this. This is from the dark side of the moon. And this is an image we've never seen before. Look at this. Is that something else? They got their first view of the dark side of the moon. And we have just never seen images like this before of the moon. And they said yesterday that Artemis is going to be flying by some of the original Apollo landing sites. I hope they get images like this. I mean, is that something else? Yeah, and that's right. America is doing this. We are there. Look at that. There's us. And look at that. I mean, this is like beautiful, isn't it? And that we are the only country that can do it. That's what really has them. That really has them freaked out. Now, if you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. And everybody, please like the video. Liking the video helps grow the channel a lot, okay? I mean, oh, by the way, I don't know, did I pull that up to show you guys? I mean, look at that. This is the dark side of the moon. That's amazing. And there's the Earth, of course. The Earth rise over the moon. I mean, that just blows my mind. Yeah, we've never seen this entire thing before. And, you know, one of the great things about this mission, even though they're not landing, is we're getting images from the moon at a higher quality than we've ever seen before, because we've never, you know, because the camera technology, you know, is so much more advanced. And, you know, you gotta be proud of your country. Don't let these people that say, "Oh, it can't be done. It never happened. It's all fake." Don't let that anti-American thing fly. I mean, those are just American haters. You know, I got one call from a moon skeptic today, and he was Canadian. And he just doesn't like the idea that we're the only country that has done it, and we're doing it again. And they're acting like one of the things they're trying to do with the Artemis moon mission is they're trying to act like it's no big deal. It's been done before. Really? Why? If it's no big deal, why has no other country done it? Why is it only us? Because we're the only ones that can do it. That's why. No one else can. Now, listen, guys, again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe and please like the video. When you like the video, it really helps grow the channel a lot. That's how people find out about me that have not yet found my channel. And after you like the video, if you get that hype option, please take advantage of that too. So before you go, please subscribe and make sure you like the video. I'll see you this afternoon on the podcast. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Take care.